Welcome to Running Eggs Gaming. Today we've got some awesome anime-inspired figures that we're unboxing, so stick around to the end and let me know down in the comments which one's your favorite. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it helps out the channel so much. Now let's jump right into it. Zenitsu is one of my personal favorite anime characters. He comes from the awesome series Demon Slayer. Obviously, if you haven't seen Demon Slayer, you should go watch it right now. But if you have, then you know that Zenitsu is a lovable but cowardly part of the Demon Slayer core. Also, just as a side note, these figures are from Qposket. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but these are my first figures from that series. These figures typically range somewhere between $20 to $30 on retail, but I found these ones for about 15 bucks a piece, so I had to pick them up. As you'll see, these figures come in multiple pieces and you build them to be able to display them. As you can see, I have some of my Funko Pops in the background and give me just a sec. Anyways, what was I saying? Let me give you a Zenitsu fact. Did you know that his given name means goodness? Obviously a nod to the fact that he's so innocent at heart, but always willing to fight for his friends. Alright, let's take a look at all the pieces now that I got them out of the bags. There's a lot of detail in the face and the body. It's super cool. I also love that they come with a little stand. That's always super useful. A little tricky to get the pegs to fit correctly into the stand, but once they're in there, it's not too loose and it doesn't wiggle around, which is nice. Same with the head, it seems to fit snugly on the body. And now we can take a closer look at the full figure. I think my favorite part of Zenitsu's outfit is the gradient of yellow to orange that matches very similar to the style of his hair. The proportions on these figures are obviously a little bit different than the original anime, but I think it's a really interesting style and stands out differently than my Funko Pops. Just a little side note, I inserted this clip because I realized that I forgot the hilt on Zenitsu's sword, but here's what it looks like fully assembled. As you can see, these figures are quite a bit taller than the Funko Pops, and here's a good side-by-side so you can see Zenitsu in both of his forms. Alright, next up we've got another blonde anime character. It's Yang from RWBY. If you're not familiar with RWBY, it's an American anime created by an animation studio called Rooster Teeth. They're most famously known for their video game machinima called Red vs. Blue, but developed the RWBY series later on and became a fan favorite. The anime sports a 3D animation that makes it stand out from its Japanese counterparts and has spawned a number of video games and spin-off series. The name RWBY, RWBY, stands for the four main characters of the series, including Ruby Rose, Weiss Xian, Yang Xiaolong, and Blake Belladonna. Four main characters meet while at school, training to be heroes, and live in the world of Remnant while fighting monsters called the Grimm. I love the series for its over-the-top action sets and the characters' super unique weapons, such as the main character Ruby uses a scythe that also doubles as a sniper rifle. Yang, the character I'm unboxing right now, carries a set of fist weapons that also double as shotguns. Alright, let's take a look at this figure as we attach it to its stand. I did have a little bit of trouble attaching this one together, and it even had a separate arm, which takes a little bit to assemble. And as I said before, here's Yang's fist weapons that have a double use as a shotgun blast. It's super cool how they utilize those throughout the anime for unique abilities to launch themselves into the air or destroy enemies. It's really unique action. And of course, what would Yang be without her iconic sunglasses? I definitely spent a little bit too long trying to figure out how these fit in her hand, but I think I finally got them to stay. Alright, let's take a closer look at this figure. The detail on the hair and the eyes is just so cool. And even though the body is so much smaller in proportion to the face, they did a really good job of detailing the clothing and shoes and all that stuff. It's just really well done for such a affordable figure. Alright, last but not least, let's get Tanjiro out here, our main protagonist in Demon Slayer. I can already tell from the box that his iconic earrings are intact, which I'm really excited to see in person. Another detail I didn't mention is that most of these Qposket figures come in two different color shades. You can get kind of a brighter, more saturated one, or you can get a desaturated one that's supposed to look more like a sepia tone or something. The three figures in this video are the more saturated ones. I kind of like the color pop, and it fits with my Funko Pop collection as well. Once again, if you're not familiar with the series Demon Slayer, I'll give you a quick breakdown of the character Tanjiro without any spoilers. So Tanjiro is a Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayers obviously try to slay demons. Demons are kind of these zombie-like characters, but they're unlike the American zombie characters you think of, and they're kind of a mix between vampires and zombies, because if they bite each other, they do become zombies, but there's also one lead demon that can turn people into zombies. It's a little confusing, but it's really interesting lore. Definitely worth adding to your anime watch list. Another cool thing about the Demon Slayer series, if you've seen it, you know that the characters that become Demon Slayers end up taking on their own forms of fighting. Tanjiro takes on water breathing, which when fighting in combat, he has these water type abilities that I've never quite been able to tell if they're actually happening in the series or if it's more figurative water, but it's the different attacks he uses to defeat demons or other enemies. Alright, here we have Tanjiro's head, and there's his super cool earrings. Let's take a look at his body and stand and get those together, and then we'll take a look at the whole figure with the accessories attached. Alright, so here we've got Tanjiro's awesome sword that helps him do water breathing. And now we can finally take a look up close. Yep, this is really well done. The spikiness of his hair, the flowing of his dynamic coat. I love it, it's so unique. I'm starting to wonder if I actually like these more than Funko Pops, specifically because there's just so much more detail in the characters. It's just a really cool way to display them. And man, look at all three of them together. They just look so cool. Let's take a closer look at all three displayed. And if you made it this far in the video, let me know down in the comments, do you prefer these Qposkets or do you like the Funko Pops more? There's a lot of benefits to each one. I do like how Funko Pops all have that similar look, so you can kind of display any of them together, but these Qposkets really stand out and just have so much detail and so much brightness in the colors. I think they're really unique and really good for the price. One more quick scan of my Funko Pops: Zenitsu, Full Metal Alchemist, and of course, Kirito from Sword Art Online. Thanks again for joining me today. This is Runny Eggs Gaming, and I'll see you on the other side of the sunny side.